Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast. Got a pretty interesting show for you here today. Gonna have former University of North Florida women's head basketball coach Darrick Gibbs on, and we're gonna talk some women's college basketball. This is something I don't talk about a whole lot, but this season has been crazy and it's been really interesting to me, and I definitely wanted to get the opinion and get the thoughts of somebody who's been boots on ground with that, and he's a guy I admire a great deal. So we're gonna do that. But before we do, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in the Format Podcast. We should come right up, and make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're sharing the podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you're also giving us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And make sure you're aware. Make sure you put it on your phone. Make sure you put it on your calendar. Make sure you remember tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Saturday night, we got the live show and we're going to talk some sports. My man G's going to come back to join me, so can't wait to do that. And, of course, we're going to open up the phone line so that you guys can call in and interact with me directly. All right. You brought her up. Let's get right to it. Caitlin Clark. And she is one of the main reasons I wanted to have this discussion with you today, Coach. I'm not going to lie to you and sit here and tell you that I am the biggest women's college basketball fan, but watching that young woman play, she's something. She is something. I mean, she's quick. She can handle it. She can pass it. We know she's got logo range. What impresses me, I think, the most when we talk about Caitlin Clark is, and I didn't know this till I was going back doing some more research for this show, watching her play some more, checking out the numbers and all that. She's averaging almost 9 assists a game, Coach. Like, with all the scoring is bonkers. And that, of course, we all know that's what gets everybody excited. But she's getting 9 assists a game, Coach. I mean, tell me what's special about Caitlin Clark. Obviously, we know the shooting, but as a coach, you are planning defenses and okay, we got to play against this person, man. We got to try to figure out how to control this. Talk to me about Caitlin Clark and why she's so special.
She's a complete player. Offensively, she can score on all levels. But the thing you mentioned is her playmaking ability. It's not just about her ability to score. It's about her ability to make her team better and uplift her players. And she does it so many different ways, whether it's the space she creates because of her ability to shoot. And now it makes life easier for others, whether it's the attention she gets with double teams and that kind of stuff, which makes her her teammates better because of it. Or is it just because her creating and making plays? She's special. She's competitive. She's fiery.
Yes.
She wants to win. And, I think she's special, man, on so many different levels. She's fun to watch.
Yeah.
When you think about it, again, you always, it's hard not to compare. But when you think about why does everybody gravitate to Steph Curry? Because of his ability to shoot the ball, his ability to score the way he scores, his ability to make plays. And, she's in the same light. Like, she can impact the game, especially on the offensive side of ball, in so many different ways. You have to account for her as soon as she crosses half court. It just opens up the floor. And nowadays the game's all about spacing, and she creates that naturally. And she makes life for the others easier because they have so much space to play when they're around her. So she's fun to watch, man. And if you're a basketball fan, it doesn't matter if you're a middle school fan, a college fan, a pro fan, men, women, European, whatever. She's fun to watch. And that's so, in being in Iowa and not at one of your kind of quote unquote big name marquee, not taking anything away from Iowa, but they've had a tremendous amount of success over a period of time.
That's
and
right.
She's been able to elevate them to a level where they haven't been before consistently. And for me, that's the other thing too, because it's not about just numbers. She's winning.
Yeah.
Like, she's winning,
That's right.
and that's the thing too. You talk about 3 back-to-back Big Ten conference championships. You're talking about getting to the Final Four and playing in the national, like that stuff that comes along with the numbers. But she's also a winner, and she elevates her team to get to that level. And that's to me, that's what makes her special and separates her.
That's right. And like I said, like you mentioned, the playmaking, I was impressed by that. And then, just again, in prepping for this show, watching some of her stuff, and she'll get down in the crouch and defend. Like, how often do you see elite offensive players that really want to defend? I think in the clip I just showed there was one, she came with a vicious help side block. Like, I was like, whoa, she said, and you could see, like, she had that look like, I want to bring it to you, and a lot of times elite offensive players don't necessarily have that look on the other side of the ball. So yeah, absolutely love watching her, love what she brings to the game. And I think it's incredible.